is talking about, the Tank rematch again. He said, him and Tank made good money. Tank knows where the money is at and all that type of stuff. And, saying that he can't make 140 no more. He was saying that T.O. and a lot of those guys used to seem bigger than him at one point. Now he seems to be a bigger fighter. And they was like, well, Tank ain't going up to 47, and he said, well, Tank know where the money at. And Tank responded with, for the most part, the rumors about him fighting Jake Paul. But shout out to Box Who's Playlist. It was part of that Ak and Barack interview he did. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this. He was saying that I'm dehydrated and I wasn't close. I don't blame fucking Tank for dehydrating your cheating ass. But, you agreed to the terms and, shit, it is what it is. You're a cheater. And I just don't understand how everybody accept cheating. You just think about everybody that popped hot. Regardless of ethnic background, it's like Luis Ortiz was a guy that's a multiple time offender. We could talk about AJ all day. But in reality, he popped hot. And that's why that AJ fight didn't happen, or AJ didn't have to drop his WBA title. You talk about guys like James Toney, Roy Jones Jr. It was swept under the rug. In history, Canelo was swept under the rug. And the one guy that's really pretty much been consistently calling the bullshit out, the one guy that's really been calling it out is Paulie for years. That's one dude you gotta keep it a bean. I love Tarver, but he popped. People thought things about Manny Pacquiao. Canelo popped and it swept up under the rug. Valdez popped, he could fight again, swept up under the rug. Dillian White popped multiple times, swept up under the rug. Julio Cesar, what's the little nigga down there? That with Eddie Renato. Martinez swept under the rug. So that's why it's kind of like a shock when Devin sued. Like, oh man, everybody do it, man. I'm like, bruh. So I'm supposed to be on the uneven playing field. Ain't that wild? I'm supposed to be on the uneven playing field because y'all gotta cheat. And I'm supposed to be shamed and condemned for it. I'm telling you, it's the same thing when you out here telling the truth. They shadow ban your channel. They shadow ban you off the internet. They shadow ban. You notice in the algorithm, it's always negativity. It's always negativity. It's always somebody yelling, shouting, whatever it may be. It ain't really never no positivity. So, but nonetheless, this is a dude who's been through 130, 135, 140, 147, now 147. He don't never challenge for a world title. He's never challenged for a world title. And he said he can make up to 20 million fighting Rolly and never challenge for a world title. What you think everybody else gonna do? But it is some good in that. Maybe people stop, fucking with the world titles. What's so funny is, the WBC, like, yeah, we stick behind Ryan Garcia. Nigga, he ain't never held your title, your actual title. That's crazy. But then they condemn dudes like Deontay Wilder for saying he wanted to send a nigga to the upper room. They ain't do that to Mike Tyson. And I just be looking at shit like, I be looking at it. This dude ain't never respected the weight classes, never respected the sport, and made all this money. And this is why a lot of people believe they can take shortcuts in this shit. But watch what happened to this nigga, man. I guarantee you, watch what happened to him. The roosters gotta come home to roost, nigga. I guarantee you. But he ain't never respected the weight classes, never. And the only reason he respected that Tank weight class because Tank hot-wired that contract, which Devin Haney and them should have did. And that's another valuable lesson. Sometimes when you be going to chase certain things. You chase certain things, bro, and that's not meant for you. You fuck around and find out. I say that all the time about women. If you got a chaser, I'm telling you, bro, and you got a chaser, it's not gonna end well. 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna end well. Mark my words. 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna end well. It's not. But this dude never respected the weight. Only time he respected the weight was a Tank fight, and that wasn't a real world title fight. Before y'all get in the comment section. But he said they made a lot of money. He lied about the money he made with Tank, because when the Forbes list came out, they ain't show that type of money. So in boxing, it's such a wild, wild west type of sport. And when you kind of say the wild, wild west, no laws. Anything go, not governed by nothing. Maybe a punk ass sheriff, but not really governed by nothing. That's why everybody said, well, he lost. And regardless if he had PEDs in the system, he lost. Oh, he won. Like, they said, because anybody that say it, it's because they did it. Rampage Jackson, he got pop time. And he a swirler. So, come on, man. And as soon as they get in trouble with the law, they will be wanting to ask the black community for the black community help. That's why I did that live on Big U for real. When he start asking for prayers and we need, man, eat a dick. These niggas kill me. They want to turn to God when they facing trouble. Get what they get from God, right? Get what they get from God, and then don't go pray, don't go back to church, don't do Nathan. Don't do Nathan. Hey, if you watch this video, he gonna laugh. Mommy was telling me, dog, he live out in Cali, and his cousin did some time in the pen or whatever, right? And he joined the Nation of Islam. So when he got out, this nigga had me rolling, dog. When he got out, he thought he wasn't gonna like pay that debt, but he thought he was about to go back eating poke sandwiches. And no, the Nation fought this nigga and put him back on in the Nation. He had to pay his debt off before he could leave. He had to get on them corners, slinging them final calls, them bean pies, hot ass LA with a whole suit on, Brother Musan looking ass nigga. Yes. And my message is this, I know people say, I don't believe in God. Your life on the line and you going through something, y'all atheists be praying to God. I swear, I know y'all do. I know y'all do. You ain't gotta tell me. Y'all get to praying, y'all get to speak in tongues. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's what gotta happen for people to find God or re-find God. I'm guilty of it. That be killing me. Oh man, I don't believe. Okay. Niggas got you all. Got a gun in your head about to rob you. You humming I guarantee you. Yeah. Yeah. Get out of here. If that's your preference, that's your preference. But I don't really fuck with people who don't believe in nothing. I don't. That's the equivalent of a man that walk around without a code. Real talk. But nonetheless, he do what he do. But he ain't never respected the sport. He made all that cash in the sport. Why would he? Why would he? If I know I can take steroids like Billy Joe Saunders and still get the Canelo fight, why wouldn't I? If I know I could take steroids before Triple G and Triple G still gonna fight me, I'm gonna make the lion's share, why wouldn't I do it? These motherfuckers don't have no moral integrity, and I know what it feel like to work out, to train. That shit ain't easy. That's why a lot of people turn to cannabis. And I will say, fucking with the edibles every now and again, I will say, bro, the pain, it does ease the pain. I'm not huge on smoking it because I don't like the smell of that shit, but it does ease the pain. That's a fact. CBD, it does, but not like the real, not like cannabis. So I understand that. But to know how to really train without ostarine, without TRT, without HGH, especially if you don't have those genetics, the work that you got to put in, you got to put in work, but the work that you got to put in when your body naturally recovers, it's a whole different ball game, bro. It's a whole different ball game. To wake up and go train when everything is hurting, it's not the same. That's the whole game of training. Like, that's the whole thing about performance enhancing drugs and training in general. Like, y'all think it's to have big muscles and all that. No, it's the recovery. How, if I could turn around and recover faster without the injuries, like if I work out and turn around and work out again, I work out 4 hours, come back 3 hours later, I'm more likely, if I'm doing this without steroids and performance enhancing, I'm going to injure myself. There's a large chance that I'm going to injure myself. That's a fact. But if I take some steroids and some performance enhancing drugs, that, guess what? I can recover like fucking Superman. That's what it's about. It's about recovery. When you work out, you tear down the muscle. That's what you're doing. Your recovery, everything you put in your body throughout after that workout, protein, glutamine, whatever you eat, vitamin D, E, whatever you eat, supplement or whatever you eat food-wise, that helps the recovery period to help the muscle grow back bigger and stronger. So when you put steroids in there or things that increase oxygen and blood flow and all that to the muscle, that super duper increase it, you know what I'm saying? And speed the recovery process up, there you have it. When I can improve my conditioning without taking something super duper much, and I could be like Manny Pacquiao throwing punches at the same speed, same cadence, same rate from round 1 to round 12. That's not an advantage. That's what I be saying. A lot of these dudes that's pro PEDs that took them or act like they don't understand it. I didn't live with athletes. I didn't live with bodybuilders. I didn't live with niggas in the penitentiary. Favorite niggas to work out with, for sure, though. I like talking shit to them. I'll send your ass back to do something. I'll send you back to jail. They be like, I can't stand this little nigga, man. Hell yeah, I was younger. But yeah, that's all I had to say, man. Hit the link tree. Find me everywhere. It's the first link in the description. Niggas, what can I find you? Hit the link tree. It's the first link in the description. They say find me everywhere. Join the Patreon. Free for 7 days. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine.